All right, Marco Rubio seems to be, well, it seems like he might not be leaving the Senate after all. One of his Florida rivals now is cleared the path, so speculation, scuttlebutt that he's going to run. But Rubio also being talked about as a potential VP candidate. And in fact, I think odds makers have him number 2 after Newt Gingrich. Joining me now to discuss it all, Danielle, McLaughlin, Representative Ron DeSantis, Gianno Caldwell, and Adriana Cohen. Adriana, let me ask you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like lately Marco Rubio has been flipping. He's been indecisive. And there's even some signs that he might not even win the Senate seat back. But they say the Democrats are more intimidated by him as the VP pick than anyone else.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think if Donald Trump did offer him the slot for VP and Marco Rubio accepted it, that would be a tough ticket for Hillary Clinton to beat. Marco Rubio is young. He's Latino. He will appeal to the Latino community. He appeals to women. He has very strong likability nationwide. He's young. I think he's a great contrast to Donald Trump. And also, he could help unite the fractured GOP because there's many Marco Rubio supporters within the party. So I think Marco Rubio would be a strong choice for a potential VP pick, but that's obviously up to Donald Trump. We know that he's considering Newt Gingrich, and he's got a few others at the top of his list, so it remains to be seen. You know,
Gianno, I like Newt personally. I think he would push back when it was needed. I think everyone, including the President of the United States, every now and then needs someone to push back against them.
Right. No question about it. And Newt Gingrich is a very strong contender. He's somebody that's well-liked throughout the party. He has strong relationships and strong connections. And I think he would make an excellent pick, especially considering the fact he's been one of the people that have defended Donald Trump time and time again. Not to mention when Donald Trump has said something that wasn't popular, or rather what I thought to be inappropriate. Newt Gingrich was the one that spoke up against it, and it changed the news cycle totally. So I think he would make an excellent choice for Donald Trump as his vice presidential pick.
All right, well, we've got someone here. Let me ask Danielle. The Democrats, who would they be more intimidated by? Who do you think would actually bolster the ticket? Because the Rubio combination sounds attractive.
It does. I think that they both have their problems, in all honesty. And I'm telling you now, I can see the Clinton campaign ad, and that is Marco Rubio in Georgia talking about Air Force One. It will be problematic whichever way they go. Gingrich has a very long history with, certainly just within politics, which is a strength for him, but there's also a long history that the Democrats can attack.
All right, I want to switch topics here a little bit because the dump Trump movement has become all of a sudden anyone but Trump. In the meantime, Paul Ryan seems to be keeping up this sort of a battle of wills, if you will, with Donald Trump. More recently saying he wouldn't rule out suing Trump, or any president, by the way, it's not just Trump, over the Muslim ban and executive overreach. Representative DeSantis, it just feels really interesting. I mean, I can't believe this saga going on between a Speaker of the House and a presumptive GOP nominee. And I looked at it, looks like you endorsed or say you would support Donald Trump around May 25th, long after he had the nod. So it felt like, did you have your own reservations? And what do you make of the idea that Paul Ryan continuously comes out almost daily and punches at Donald Trump?
Yeah, look, I mean, the primaries are over, and I think that it behooves the party to unite and train the fire on Hillary Clinton and on President Obama's performance, and then articulate how we can do a better job. And I think when you constantly have a circular firing squad, that is catnip for the Democrats, because they can take that and then they can use it against not only our nominee, but candidates running up and down the ballot. And so I think the fighting is counterproductive. Nobody running for office has to take the same positions, of course, of anybody else on the ticket, and make your case and disagree when you have to disagree. But when all your fire is trained inside the tent and there's very little fire trained outside the tent, I think a lot of our voters get frustrated.
Adriana, I got to tell you something. Hillary Clinton doesn't have to do much these days. Almost every day a headline reads, I mean, look at these headlines. Ryan won't rule out suing Trump over the Muslim ban. Paul Ryan, Donald Trump does not have a blank check. I mean, it's every single day.
I know. I can't believe it. Paul Ryan should really give me a break. He should get on board. Does he really want to see the White House go to the Democrats for another 4 years? Give me a break. And if Paul Ryan cared about executive overreach, why didn't he sue President Obama for the past 2 terms, who's been violating executive overreach for 8 straight years? I mean, come on. It's like he's attacking the wrong person. And with respect to a temporary halt, Muslim ban, President Jimmy Carter did it during the Iran hostage hostage crisis. I didn't hear anybody calling him a racist back then.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be
you know,
clear,
it's
though,
just
Jimmy
incredible.
Carter had a specific ban against a specific country, and I think if Donald Trump articulated it that way, and it felt like he did in his last speech, by the way, you know, about coming from dangerous countries rather than an entire religion, that might change it to a degree. But let me ask Gianno this, because, you know, you have been critical. You're a staunch Donald Trump supporter, but you have been critical from time to time of things that rankle you. So is what Paul Ryan doing productive at all, or do you believe that somehow he's trying to protect these down ballot candidates, even if it means hurting the guy at the top?
Well, you know what? I've been a proud Republican for 10 plus years. I'm an African American Republican, obviously. And Donald Trump has said numerous things that have given he said numerous things that have given me pause. And as of recently, he's given me great pause to the degree that he has to re-earn my vote. What Paul Ryan is doing, I believe, is correct in a way. Yes, we need to train our fire on Hillary Clinton. Absolutely. We want to win the White House. But Donald Trump must realize that, as he said previously, he was going to be much more presidential. We haven't seen a lot of that. We want to see him be presidential. We want to see him be focused on our party as a whole, not just president. We have to win races all over the Senate, the House, governor's races, state rep races, all the way down to councilmen and state party officials. So he has to change a little bit, and he's not doing that. So I appreciate Paul Ryan being a voice when he sees something wrong, because I've said some of the same things, and we need to continue to see that change.
Do you appreciate it too, as a Democrat?
Paul Ryan is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He has congressmen for Trump and against Trump. He has a party to lead. He has policy positions that in some ways, you know, go against what Trump stands for.
All right,
He's got to be a leader.
Let's leave it.